I had to hit record. That way I remembered it so I can share it with people that aren't able to hop on during the day. So let's see here. Got to admit some other people. They're coming on.
I just got a quick question.
Okay, what's that?
Okay, so it's mainly my dad wanting to know. He wants to know if we can pay like with multiple different credit cards.
Yeah, you can pay with multiple different credit cards. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Because that's how we plan on paying for it.
Okay. Yeah, you can, once you set up your online account, you can go in there and make payments on different cards. So yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
All right, cool guys. Hey, we will start, and I got Jesse coming in. Can you guys hear the sirens? I have my windows open. It's you can hear it. Okay, I'm gonna go close my windows here.
It was fine though. I mean, once the sirens went away, we hear you clearly.
Okay, was it? Okay,
yeah, no, the window is open and it's nice fresh air for you. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 75 degrees today, and you know that never happens in Kansas in August. So, but I'm gonna close it because it sounds like we got fire trucks and ambulances doing something. So. I'm on my Zoom call. All right, cool. So I got all my my windows closed, so that way the sirens aren't bothering you. So okay, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so cool. Well, I'm Brigham Joy. I'm the founder of America's Team, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story and how we got this whole thing started. And then I'm going to open it up to you guys to just fire away with your questions. So I played college baseball here in Kansas and got the opportunity to go to Germany as a college kid and play ball. And guys, it is the coolest thing I have ever done. You know, getting to wear the USA and go overseas and play ball. And then, like a lot of kids, I went over with blinders. Like I thought I was just there to play baseball. And the second day we were in Germany, they took us to the Dachau concentration camp. And guys, that's what changed my life. You know, that was like the good Lord just came and shook me and said, hey, there's a big world out here. You need to go see it. You know, so that was my aha moment. And so long story short, graduate from college, go to work for a couple of years, and quickly realize working sucks. Like, I don't recommend it to anybody. So at 26, I decided, you know what? I might as well do something that I love. So I started taking baseball teams overseas. And that was 17 years ago, because now you're looking at a 43-year-old kid. And we've been lucky enough to grow this thing to baseball, softball, volleyball, and basketball. And guys, my goal is simply to give you guys the same opportunity that I had when I was a kid. You know, so that's my story. But today, it's all about your story. You know, what can we do to help write your story, to go see the world, to wear the USA, and just help be a part of your journey? So the first question that I'll answer is, it's the one that everybody wants to know, is why did I get invited? So here's how we build all of our teams and where we get all of our players is we work with college coaches all across the country that send us players that they see out on the recruiting trail, you know, either at tournaments or showcases online, or even from other college coaches. So what we do is we compile all of our players into one big database, and then the next step is very unscientific, to be honest with you. We have the one big database, and then we divide that database into thirds. 1/3 gets invited to Australia, 1/3 to Spain, and then 1/3 to the Dominican Republic. So that's why you guys are, you got invited to different locations. That's how we build all of our teams. And what we look for in our kids and in our players is, kids that can mix and match lineups and play different positions, because we keep our rosters small to make sure that everybody gets a lot of playing time. So for our softball teams, we only carry a maximum of 12. And then for our volleyball and our basketball teams, we only carry a maximum of 10. So again, we want to keep our rosters small, because I know you guys are wanting to go play. You don't want to go out there and sit. That's no fun. So that's why we keep all of our rosters small. So, with that being said, fire away with your questions. When you have a question, unmute yourself, say it so everybody can hear it, and then, we'll answer it. So, yeah, whoever wants to go first, let's do it.
I have a
Hey,
quick
Joy.
que- I have a quick question. What kind of community service opportunities are they going to have overseas?
So in the Dominican Republic, we have community service into the program.
Mhm.
For Australia and Spain, we don't have community service built in.
Okay.
Where was your daughter invited to go?
To Australia.
Okay, so yeah, so we don't have that service component in the Australian itinerary.
Okay.
If that's important to you, if you'd rather go to the Dominican to get that service aspect, you can absolutely change destinations. And
Okay.
I guess that kind of brings me, I really appreciate this question, because guys, if you're looking at it and the dates don't work, or if you'd rather go to another destination, let me know. Just shoot me an email and say, hey, I got invited to Spain, but I'd rather go to the Dominican, or and I can get you an invitation to that other destination. Because again, it was not scientific why you guys were invited to each country. So if the dates don't work or anything like that, just shoot me an email and say, hey, can I get invited to another destination? Because I know we're going to make an impact on your life, whether you go to Spain, Australia, or the Dominican. So I'm not worried about that. I want to find the right fit for you guys. So long answer to a short question. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So do you know the
I was
date?
curious.
Sorry, do you know the dates for the Spain trip?
Yeah, for softball and volleyball, it is July 10 through 18.
Is the cost the same as for the Australia trip?
No, so each cost is different. Australia's going to ballpark around $6,000. Spain's going to ballpark around 5, and then the Dominican is around 4.
I had
How
a
did the
quick
girls
question.
get?
Sorry. Hey, Joey, we had reached out to Coach Archer because he was supposed to be doing the Australian deal, and he said that was actually sent out a little bit quick, that he was actually going to be doing Italy.
Yeah, he changed gears on me. That dude's been to Italy like 6 or 7 times. So I was like, all right, I'm going to throw him to Australia. And then he's like, oh, I want to go back to Italy. So I was like, okay. So yeah, Kelly's coaching with us again. He's going to take a team to Italy, but the invitations are going for Australia for him. And since he's already loaded in our system, we're going to fill this team for Australia. And then I'm going to have to find another college coach to take his spot in Australia. Because yeah, he wants to go back to to Italy again.
So for my daughter, she got an invite to Australia. She'll still be going to Australia.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So what we'll do is, because that's our, and this is actually a great segue, is, you know, I anticipate we'll get more kids than just one team to Australia. So let's say we get 36 kids. We're going to take those 36 kids and divide them into 3 teams of 12. So each team is going to be led by a college coach. So I'm going to have to find, 3 college coaches to lead all 3 of those teams. So for your example with Kelly, since he's changed gears and now is going to go to Italy, I'm going to have to find another college coach to replace him, because that's our guarantee to you guys too, is every team is led by a college coach, because we want you to get that kind of exposure. And I guess this is kind of leading me into that too, is the benefit of you guys going, other than getting to go see the world, is, with your college recruiting, you're going to get to play in front of a college coach all week. But more importantly, you're going to get to hang out with that coach off the field or off the court to really develop that relationship and increase your network. Because guys, the college coaching network is so tight. They are constantly, shuffling players back and forth. Because let's say, for example, you're a 2024 shortstop, but Kelly already has a 2024 shortstop signed. What he's going to do, he probably knows half a dozen other coaches that are looking for a 2024 shortstop. So they're constantly, shuffling players back and forth, trying to find, a good fit for the kid and a good fit for their program. So that can't be overstated, is being able to build your network of college coaches. So again, long answer to a short question. My apologies.
I guess another question, and I'm sorry to keep taking up everybody's
Nope,
space.
you're
but,
good.
So my daughter is going to be 17 at the time that they leave for Australia, and she'll turn 18 while she's there.
Oh,
Does she
awesome.
have to have a parent with her being 17, or is it okay for her to go at that age by
Sure.
herself?
Yeah, no problem. And here comes another long answer, guys. Sorry. So parents, you guys are more than welcome to travel. We average 6 parents that travel with each team. So I anticipate a handful of you guys tagging along and being part of the group, so you guys, you're more than welcome, and that guarantees you the same flights, hotels, tours, meals. You get everything your daughters get. You just don't get to play. They go down to the field, you go to the bleachers. But with that being said, the kids are more than welcome to travel on their own, because we average 6. So about half the kids bring a parent, half the kids don't. So yes, in this specific question, she is perfectly fine, traveling on her own. And it doesn't really make any difference if she's 17 or 18, or if she's 14 or 15. The answer is the same, because you guys are more than welcome to travel, but you don't have to, which I guess kind of parlays into another question of, safety on tour. So at a minimum for each team is going to have a minimum of 2 chaperones. So you'll have your college coach, and then you'll have your full-time bilingual local tour manager with you the entire time. So when you go to Australia, or let's use Spain as our example. So you go to Spain, you're going to have a local Spanish tour manager with you the entire time. So you're just going to have that local there all the time, because what I tell my coaches is I want them focused on 2 things, and that is having fun with the kids and softball or volleyball or whatever sport they coach. That's where I want their focus. I don't want them trying to figure out, where the restaurant is, where to park the bus. I just want their focus on the kids. So that's I guess that's the answer to that question. Did I leave anything out?
So question about parents going on the trip. Do we have to like buy the package through you guys, or can we like make our own arrangements? Like, like we might have rewards with our credit card or Southwest or United, like, you know what I mean?
Sure. So yeah, a couple different answers there is, first off, yes, you can absolutely book your own flights and book your own hotels and all of your own travel. Just know that if you're on your own, you won't have any services, from us. It'd be up to you to get your own ground transportation, book your own hotels. You wouldn't be able to go on any of the tours with us or get on the tour bus. I mean, you can go to the games, those are open to the public. So it would be like you going on your own. I guess, where are you going, Laura? Or where's your daughter?
Well, her invite was to Australia, but I'm thinking like we might want to do the Europe one, the Spain.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say you do Spain. So you can absolutely do it, but it would be like you guys booking your own Spanish vacation and just going to the games. So,
Okay.
so yeah, you can absolutely do that. Then another thing to look at is if you have frequent flyer miles, you could book your own airfare and then do the ground package through us. And, you would be responsible for getting yourself to and from, for the flights. But that typically will save you, $1,200, for doing your own flights, per person. So
what is the ground package? What is that?
So that is everything except for the flights. So that is hotels, all the tours and excursions we take you guys on, tour bus, tour manager, and then breakfast and lunch every day, or breakfast and dinner. And actually, while we're talking about it, let's go over what is included and then also what's not included. That way you guys have a clear picture of that. So
how much is the ground package?
it depends. If you shoot me an email, I can get you the exact cost, but a good ballpark is about $1,200 cheaper.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see here. So here's what is included. So your flights and hotels, all the games and uniforms, then all the tours and activities that we take you guys on, your tour bus, your tour manager, and then breakfast and dinner every day are also included. So here's what's not included. Lunch is on your own, and then spending money for souvenirs, tips, snacks, that kind of stuff. But other than lunch and spending money, everything else is included. So does that make sense for everybody?
Is there an opportunity while we're there to branch out? Like, is there times, a couple hours here and there that we can branch out and kind of sightsee or shop or do whatever on our own?
Yes. Yeah. There's a little bit of free time built in. And yeah, so yes, the short answer is yes, there is. And a lot of that will flow naturally into the tour, because we'll have activities for you, and then we'll say, okay, the next hour or two is free. Here's some options, or you guys can do whatever you want. So short answer, yes, and it just it's built into the tour.
What does a typical day look like, from practicing to the touring to the games? Like how is that structured?
Yeah, you bet. So each tour follows this same model. So no matter what destination, it's the same model. So the first 3 days, that's the tournament. That's going to be just like here at home, where you're either living at the gym or living at the ballpark. That's the tournament. So that's going to be filled up with sports. Then after the tournament is over, the sport is done. And then the rest of the time is spent exploring as much of that country as you can. So you've got two distinct, typical days, because the first half, it's all dedicated to the sport. And then the second half, it's all dedicated to the culture and the excursions and the activities.
Is there the possibility to extend the tour? So like
Yeah,
if we
so-
want to go over to meet and
Yeah, so
go visit Spain?
Yeah, so we have people extend their tours all the time, and that's really simple. There's a form that you fill out. So an example would be, let's just use Spain. So the dates are July 10 to 18. Let's say you guys wanted to stay until July 23rd. Well, you fill out this form, and then we would fly you back on the 23rd from the airport that you selected. So you don't even have to fly back from Spain. Let's say, for example, you work your way up to Paris. We can fly you back home out of Paris. So we would take care of your flights, but then any ground, any hotels or any accommodations
Yes.
you would have between now and then would be on you, but we could fly you out from a different airport too.
Great, very much.
Yeah, and we have people do that all the time, so no big deal there either.
But do we know? Oops. Go
Sorry,
ahead,
go
Kristen.
Oh, okay. I have two questions actually.
Okay.
So is there like any financial aid available?
Yeah, there is. So I'll put this in the chat. I can't minimize Zoom when I'm recording. Okay. Let's see if I can figure this out here. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to put in, where's my Zoom? There we go. All right, so I'm putting in the fundraising information in the chat. So there's America's teams, then I'll get ACIS. All right, there you go. There's the two links to the fundraising, and then I'll throw my email address in here too, in case anybody needs to shoot me an email. There you go. All right, cool. So, all right, Krista, that was your first question. What was your second one? I'm sorry.
It's okay. So like, is there going to be like any practices or anything?
So we won't practice here in the States because we're building our teams with literally from kids all over the 50 states and from Canada. So we'll have players coming from all over the country. So we won't practice here at home. We will have time for a short practice, in country when we get there. And this is actually a common question because everybody wants to know, how does the team come together? And first off, you guys are all good at what you do. You guys know the game, you're good athletes, you're playing all the time. So you know what you're doing. And then here's one of the coolest parts about America's team and you guys is the way that you guys instantly bond is incredible. Now, I want you to remember this and think back, or because you're going to see this, in 10 months or whenever we go, is I don't know how to explain it, and you guys won't fully appreciate it until you do it, but you guys will come together in an instant. Like I see it all the time where you guys, and I think it might just be the common goal of, playing together and representing the USA. But parents, it is so much fun to watch just the kids instantly bond and become a unit. And just remember, I'm telling you this now, that way when you see it next summer, you'll think, okay, this is what he was talking about, because it is incredible.
So
I
do
have
they
a
get their uniforms once you arrive at your destination, or is it like mailed out to you prior to?
Sure. So we mail the uniforms out 30 days prior to departure. So next spring, we'll send out the uniform order sheet. You guys will fill that out, and then we'll make the uniforms and mail those out 30 days prior.
What teams are the girls playing? Are they other teams from the States? Are they other teams from different countries?
So yes to all. So we'll have our teams from the US, and then when we go to Australia, we can guarantee the Australians. Most likely there'll be teams from New Zealand there, but I can't ever guarantee the New Zealand teams. For the Dominican Republic, it'll be teams from the Dominican plus our teams from the US. And then in Spain, I can guarantee the Spanish teams. And then most likely we'll have teams from other European countries. Like this past year, we had the Scottish national team there. Again, I can't guarantee, other European countries, but I can guarantee the other the Spanish teams and our teams. And what we also work with our, vendors to provide is for every American team, there is at least one foreign team, because what we don't want to do is I don't want to have 5 American teams and then 1 Spanish team, because that completely defeats the purpose. So at a minimum, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if we got 5 American teams, they'll have a minimum of 5 Spanish teams or 5 European teams. So that's the kind of, I guess, I don't know if quota is the right word, but that's the ratio that we expect from our hosts, is because we don't want to just have American teams playing each other, because that completely defeats the purpose.
How many games do you think they'll play?
So a minimum of 6. So each team gets a minimum of 6 guaranteed. And then depending on how you do in the tournament, you could get 8, 10, 12 games. I know our volleyball teams in Spain this year got 12 games, because I was on that tour. So I just know that off the top of my head. And then our softball teams in Spain got 7. So at a minimum 6, but there's the possibility to get more.
Do you have the dates for Dominican for softball?
Yeah, July 17 to 24. And then Krista threw a question up here in chat. What's the general age group? So all of our players are high school age kids, anywhere from freshmen to graduating seniors. And we don't segregate the teams out like 18U, 17U, 16U, 15U. It'll be a mix, of kids different ages.
And do you, if you've got a certain coach that is assigned to you that maybe you've worked with at a showcase or something like that, and I'm assuming it's okay to just reach out and say, yay, or something like, hi, I'm on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cause I guess which coach do you know?
Well, so my daughter was asked to do the Spain one, and we actually were at a showcase with Coach Amber.
Oh, Affolter. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Cause yeah, so cool story about Amber. She went down to the Dominican with us this past summer, and she's having 2 kids come up for official visits to they may not sign at her college, but she I guess that's just like a recruiting feel good story that
Sure.
These kind of things happen where she liked what she saw and the kids liked her, so they're going to see if it's a good fit. They're coming up in September.
Excellent.
So let's see.
So I'm on a question of,
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
So you had mentioned something about, like say you had 36 kids, you're going to split them up into 12 different teams, or 3 different teams of 12, say for softball in Australia.
Yeah.
So my daughter's already been a sort of assigned to a coach. And it's actually a local coach who we know very well. Is there a chance, and there's also 2 other girls that my daughter plays travel softball with, is she going to have the opportunity to go with a different coach, or is she assigned already to that specific coach, or will you split them differently?
So typically what we try and do is we try and divide up our teams evenly by positions and then by region. So if your daughter and then the 2 other kids are from the same, area or flying out of the same airport, we want to keep them with that coach if at all possible. So where are you guys from, and which coach did we invite you with?
We're from Northern Michigan, and we're with Sobek, Kristen.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
in the UP. Are you guys up there too?
We're in just the northern part of the Mid.
Okay.
She actually lives near us, so we're very familiar with Coach Kristen. So
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, 'cause she was in Spain with us just a few weeks ago.
yeah.
So yes, yeah, with
Um,
you guys being from Michigan, yeah, we're gonna do everything we can to keep you with Kristen because we like to
okay.
fly you guys out together. So yes.
Okay.
I had a couple questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. There's another girl from the area that is going on the Australia trip for volleyball. And I assume they're going to be flying together out of Pittsburgh. But as far as the hotel accommodations, are they double room? Do they get a choice if they want a room together? How does that work?
Sure. So yeah, this is a great question. So let's go over rooming in general. So rooming for Australia, standard room is 2 people to a room. So let's see here. I'm trying to think. So that's the standard, is 2 people to a room. And as far as picking your roommate, yes, you can request, if you want to room with somebody. So if your daughter knows that other girl that's going, they can request to room together. So yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the clock here because we're counting down, so I'm trying to get this done. I may not be able to finish this answer. So let's stick with Australia. So the standard room is 2 people to a room. Let's say a mom and a daughter want to go, and daughter wants to room with her teammate, and then mom wants to room on her own in a single. She can absolutely do that. She would just have to pay the single room surcharge. So that's how that rooming surcharge would work. Now shifting gears to Spain and the Dominican, the standard room is 3 people to a room. So, and again, let's say mom and daughter go, let's say they just want to room in a double, they don't want that third roommate. Well, you can absolutely do that. You would just have to pay that double room surcharge. And then the same example is, let's say mom and daughter go, daughter wants to room with 2 of her teammates in a triple, and mom wants to get her own single room. Again, you can do that. You would just have to pay that single room surcharge. So, and again, if that's a little unclear, don't worry. You can shoot me an email and I can clarify it all for you. I rushed through that a little bit just because of the clock. And speaking of the clock, if you guys are ready to sign up, go online, go ahead and commit. If you're not, no worries. We have these Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you didn't get all your questions answered, hop back on Thursday or hop back on next week. Just make sure you get all your questions answered first, and then go ahead and sign up if it's a good fit.
Can I ask one quick question, because I think our deadline is tomorrow. She is verbally committed to a college. Is there any problem with that going?
No, there's no problem at all. So she's not violating any NCAA rules.
Okay.
Zoom cuts me off. It's just Zoom. I'm not hanging up on you guys.
Okay.